Dillon streets in the winter are a nightmare to drive on, but you can make it a dream with a new pre-owned four-wheel drive from Dream Motors. We all know Dillon streets in the winter are a nightmare to drive on, but you can make it a dream with a new pre-owned four-wheel drive from Dream Motors. We all know Dillon streets in the winter are a nightmare to drive on, but you can make it a dream with a new pre-owned four-wheel drive from Dream Motors.
Is this your mic?
So it crosses
That corner back there?
there's a possibility. He's always asking me.
You want this? I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, you go. At some point I'll sit down.
Okay. Gotta keep your good graces with my breath.
Number of juvenile dinosaur owned days that I've been sitting on for 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to get started.
And resources, hands to get it out of the ground.
this picture.
I don't know if we can talk to you here, Todd. Then you inventory it and take pictures of it.
It just, the digs are huge. These are cool.
Then everybody gets nice and quiet. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for attending tonight. We invited Kip Shumway from Mungus Construction. He's the general manager.
Yep.
To kind of outline the project and then to take any questions concerning the project. I know there's been a lot of things. And here's a little editorial. I know a lot of people like to put questions on Facebook without calling the city first so I'd appreciate it if you would call the city first, myself, the mayor, to ask questions first before you start putting things out on Facebook. Because a lot of times things on Facebook can be a little misguided, misdirected, and then people start to pile on. So that's my own little editorial with that. So that's why I appreciate you're here tonight, so that you're going to get direct answers from the people that are involved in it. So I appreciate that you are here tonight, and then those people that are watching with Jeremy, and also those that attend or want to attend the meeting by Zoom. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Shumway.
Sure. So I'm Kip Shumway, general manager of Mungus Company. We're making the mess out there. So I realize we are a couple weeks behind. We had lost a week to weather. Temp water is an issue when it's that cold. We can't run temporary water on top of the ground. So last week was just kind of a bust. First week, that one was on us. We were just a week behind. So we are 2 weeks behind, but we're going. Things seem to be going well the first week. A couple mystery lines out there in the street, but that's to be expected. I think it's going to be a good project though, and we should be flipping through this pretty good. So, any questions?
Could you kind of explain kind of what the plan is?
Sure.
Going up Idaho and Washington.
Sure. So we're bound by the contract that says we're only allowed to have 3 blocks at a time shut down. So we've got 2 shut down right now. The ones on these 3 blocks downtown are a little trickier. There's concrete underneath the asphalt, and the concrete is a little thick and it's tricky to pull out, and then we're gonna repave the entire street with base course underneath and kind of a geotech fabric underneath to kind of firm up that road base. But it's a little trickier in these 3 blocks of downtown, so you'll see us kind of progress a little slower through the downtown districts, but the rest of the time we'll have a second crew running. They'll be kind of doing the other stuff that's just a trench patch type of a fix, but there'll be 2 crews running around. There's going to be streets closed down, traffic's going to be a little tricky. We'll try to keep our signage up as best as possible, and I will have some flyers and cards out with my name on it and phone number. Like Todd said, if there's any questions or concerns or anything, I'm more than happy to do what we can to help out. So just give me a call. My guys they're pretty friendly. They'll come help pack groceries or luggage or roll the trash cans to the end of the block or whatever you guys need. So we're not afraid to help out. So
the timeline for having the street closed off or the water shut off, or like for businesses, where my businesses are also apartments upstairs.
okay. So at no point will you ever have the water shut off for more than 8 hours at a time. We will give you a 24-hour notice when we do shut the water off. And what we're gonna do is keep the old main live through these 3 blocks of downtown. We won't shut you off until it's time to actually hook you up to the new system. So there will be a day where there's probably not gonna be any water, but you'll have a 24-hour notice before we do that.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Kip, I'm Ron Carroll. I own Emporium 406, just down the block here.
Okay.
I guess my main question is, I realize that we're 2 weeks behind on the project.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a plan afoot to try to catch that 2 weeks up? Or is it now going to go 2 weeks longer at the end of the project? My obvious concern is that we're getting closer and closer to the peak tourism season at that point.
Sure,
And of course, in downtown Dillon, we rely desperately on that tourism.
sure.
Could you address that?
So it's probably gonna push, and my schedule was set for worst case scenario. We were set to pave the end of May. So worst case scenario, we're looking at paving the middle of June. But we seem to be, things have gone a little better than, fingers crossed, than we had expected. We had expected to have to saw cut all this concrete 12 inches thick, and it was gonna be a nightmare trying to get that out. I had 5 days allocated to pull this concrete up. It happened in a day and a half. So things seem to be, the schedule's kind of set for worst case scenario, but things seem to be going okay. That's not to say that we're not gonna run into something that could throw us off schedule again, but it seems to be we should be able to catch up to that. But as of now, the paver is scheduled to be here end of May, so we're gonna do everything we can to get this prepped and ready to go and get it paved. We do understand that it is tourist season, and Dillon's a tourist town in the summertime, so
For sure. Yeah.
we empathize with that, and we're gonna do everything we can to try to get out of your guys' hair.
And I've talked to several of your crew members throughout the week. They're all extremely nice individuals, so if you
Good.
pass along, I appreciate their cooperation.
Yep, I like to hear that when I'm not around, and they're
Yeah.
still nice boys, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been great. They came in, told us multiple times what was going
they're
off and
very
on,
good at
so.
communicating to us.
I'm Corey Burkenbill, and I have Burkenbill Brands, and I just wanna say we're your biggest cheerleaders right now. We want
Good.
this project done.